Hello, guys. How are you? We are back in another episode of this podcast, Mr. EVIOMATIC podcast. Welcome back to another episode. So this is the part two of the previous series we have talked about how to get back in the YPP or YouTube Partner Program after you are being demonetized. You have strikes that are pending. You have reused content problem, and if you have enlisted like if you haven't listened to part one of this next episode, I explained my experience, what demonetization feels like, understanding reused content, copyright issues, and community guidelines. So, if you haven't watched the first episode of this, just go and watch back the previous episode so that you can, get to know what we are really talking about today. So, today we are going again deeper. Today we are talking about the most important step. How do you actually transform your channel after YouTube tells you something that needs to be changed? Because YouTube is an open book, it is straightforward. It will let you know what you have made, and it will show you that if there is a chance, then you can fix that issue. Because it always gives you a chance to fix yourself. So, because many creators make one big mistake, they wait for YouTube to change, like they wait for YouTube to change. They wait for YouTube to understand them. But the first person who might change this is the real creator. Because your channel respects, like, it represents your decisions. And your videos represent your mindset. So if you want a different result, you have to create a different future. Okay? So now we are going to talk about how to accept that the old method is over. Because when you receive too many reused content, strikes, guidelines, and problems, you need to accept that really I have to move on. I have to pass by this old method. It's no longer working for me because you can't be receiving the same copyright strikes, guidelines, and you still stay in the same loop, like you do the same content. So one of the hardest thing for creators is letting go. You don't want to let go from the old niche to switch up to a new niche. So sometimes the content that brought you success in the same content, it can also create problems later. Like if you focus so much on reused content so much every time you upload somebody else's content on your channel, so it may bring problems. So this is where many creators struggle. They say, but this video brought me thousands of views, but this content made me money, but my audience likes it. Well, I understand, and it has to walk away from something that worked. But ask yourself, do I want temporary success or a long-term career? A creator must sometimes sacrifice short-term numbers to protect long-term growth. The goal is not just getting views, but the goal is building something that can survive throughout the situation and can be a long-term sustainability. You understand? So now you have to audit your channel. Okay? You have to really go through your channel and you audit it, see where everything is needs to be changed, and you work on it. Like after being demonetized, one of the first things you should do is to review your own channel. See where the leaks are, try to fix them, become your own reviewer. Open your videos and ask if someone who doesn't know me watches this, will they clearly see my contribution? Because everything you do on YouTube has to be adding value on you have to be adding value on something you upload, not just automatically uploading something that doesn't add value on the platform. So look at your oldest videos. Are they still representing your current style? Because you might start with something and then by time goes on you realize maybe I can do also something. But look at your channel and your old videos. Are they still representing your current style? Because as time goes on, creators really shift to different things they do. They really shift to different niches and they don't stay in one niche like for every time. So another thing is that watch your most viewed videos. Are they still bringing the right audience? Okay? Because you need to understand how your audience moves, how they go on with your content. Do they love your content? Do they vibe with your content? And check on those most views, like most viewed videos. Are they still bringing the right audience? Another thing is that check your recent uploads. Because these uploads that you have made, like the recent one, do they show your new directions? Because you don't need to focus on how many views you get, even if you get like 10 views, but are they still bringing the right audience? Do they show you a new direction? Are they adding value to the platform? That's what you need to focus on, because creators need to stop looking for only at views. Sometimes a video with few viewers is more valuable because it represents your future. Another thing is that moving from reused content to original content. Now let's talk about this. This is about transformation, because YouTube allows transformative content. Like you really transform. You don't use the original thing, the reused thing, but you do something of yours, you transform, or you make it in a transformative way. Now let's talk about transformation. The biggest change a creator can make is moving from using someone else's content to building content around your own creativity. For example, instead of uploading content where the main attraction is another person's work, make yourself the main character. This one, like something like this, you have to use your voice, your opinions, your experience, your personality, and your storytelling. That is your brand. Okay? So take an example for movie commentary. Let's use movie commentary as an example. Well, a weak approach. Playing long sections of a movie while explaining, like, excuse me. Excuse me. So we are talking about movie commentary. Playing along sections of a movie while explaining small details that is a weak approach. Okay, I'm giving you an example of how you can be transformative with your reused content. Let's say you are doing a movie commentary. You play the long scenes, like you play long sections of a movie while explaining small details only. A strong approach could be you become the storyteller of the whole movie, not just like some scenes, you leave some scenes unexplained. You understand? For example, why the characters, like you need to explain something like this. If you're making like a movie commentary, you need to explain why the character made certain decisions. You need to explain why like there are some lessons from the story. Also, you have to give your opinion about how the movie has ended. And you also have to give the message behind the movie. You also have to give interesting facts so that the audience should come because they want your explanations. That is being transformative. Another thing is that adding your personal brand to the content that you do. So many creators like underestimate the power of personality, like adding your brand to the content. Excuse me. So I'm sorry about that. Many creators underestimate the power of personality, like adding yourself as you are the brand to what you do. So you need to add yourself. You have to include yourself. And don't only like people don't only subscribe because of information. They subscribe because of connection. They think about your favorite creators. Like think about any of your favorite creators on YouTube here. You know their voice, their style, and how they represent themselves and how they think. Your goal is to make viewers say, I want to watch this because it's from this creator. Not, I only want to watch this because of the topic. Sometimes the people have to get used to your style when you are representing your brand. Another thing is that this is another thing that we have to talk about. What not to do after being demonetized. Because once you receive a message or an email saying that you have been removed from the YPP or you have been demonetized or your monetization has been paused due to reused content, this is what you have to do. After losing monetization, some creators panic and make things worse. Okay? They really panic, as I did. We mess up things. So you need to avoid these mistakes after being removed from the YPP programs. So, creating many low quality uploads just to reach numbers. You shouldn't do that. More videos do not automatically mean a better channel. Buying subscribers or views, you shouldn't do that also. Because fake growth destroys your analytics. Another one, you shouldn't copy another creator's comeback. Your journey is different. Everyone has their comeback journey. These are the don'ts that you shouldn't always do when you are being demonetized. Another thing that you don't have to upload risky content because it made money before. Okay? You don't have to go through the same old style because the old strategy already showed its risks. Now it's time to build smarter. So, another topic is that you have to build your own new strategy and new content system. This is where you have to be like transformative enough. This should be your comeback with something new and the content that you build. Now let's create a new system, something that it can be sustainable. For example, you can do podcasts. Try podcasts. Talk about creators' experience, life lessons, challenges, and education. Another thing you can do is commentary, like in any stories, not only movies. Add your voice, your analysis, and your personalities. Another thing you can do for this new content strategy, you can do behind the scenes. Show your journey. People love seeing creators how they build their content from scratch. And also, another chapter, you have to be patient during the comeback. Like when you're trying to get back on the right path to be remonetized again, you have to be patient because it takes some time and some patience, good patience. One thing creators must understand, the algorithm needs time. There's what they call the algorithm. It needs time to understand this new strategy. Because when you shift from the old content, okay, your audience might not react immediately because some subscribers may become inactive. That's normal. Because you are training YouTube to find your new audience. Don't quit because the first views or the first weeks are slower. Because a tree doesn't grow the same day you plant it. You understand? So you have to be patient. You have to be really patient when you are trying to get back in the YPP program. This is my closing message. To every creator watching this, if you lost your YPP or the YouTube Partner Program, don't see yourself as I'm finished. See it as a building season. A season where you improve, a season where you become a storyteller, a season where you create something you can be proud of. Views can disappear, money can stop, but your skills, your experience, and your creativity, they always stay with you. Build something original, build something valuable, build something that represents you. This is Mr. EVIOMATIC podcast. I'll see you in another episode where we are going to be talking about preparing your YPP reapplication, proving your channel has changed, and creating a long-term monetization strategy. So stay strong and keep creating. I'll see you in another video. Thank you and bye.